Welcome to TYT Sports, everybody. I'm Ben Mankiewicz here with a Clippers season ticket holder.
Very rare, right?
How long, Dan Keston, EP of TYT Sports, how long have you been a Clippers?
Believe it or not, since 1988, my family
that right?
has season tickets, yes.
And a fan throughout?
Yeah, we've gone all the years, even the ones at the sports arena where we got 2,000 fans, rooting for the Lakers.
What's better, the fact that they're good or the fact that Donald Sterling is gone? Give an honest answer.
I hate that they're good.
Yeah, right,
I mean, look, nobody liked Donald Sterling, but after a while you blocked it out.
Right, you just sort of forgot about it.
Well,
right.
you just knew how horrible he was, and like he would, yell at his own players, and then you'd go, that sucks. But I mean, if you're a fan, and you try to get over it. But
well, we did earlier segments here when Damian Carville was here about like the fact is, if the players or the owners, at least for me, take an incredibly obnoxious stand, it does ruin it a little bit, and so I couldn't have been a Clipper fan. I'm not begrudging you that choice, but I'm glad I wasn't because I would have had to. Yeah. I would have had to bail.
And don't get me wrong, we're happy that we have Ballmer. He makes great faces. He jumps up and down. He's not a horrible racist. So that helps.
Right. He's just a normal billionaire.
Yeah, he's just a normal everyday billionaire.
Normal everyday billionaire. This has been a puzzling series, and we're shooting this the day before Game 7. Weird series. A road team has won 4 of the 6 games. Yep. So. Does that give you great confidence or minimal confidence going into Game 7 at the Staples Center?
I don't know because I'd love to sit here and tell you I've been right on every game, but that's not really true. Game 2 clearly we choked, like we just choked. You can say whatever you want, we choked. Game 3 we got blown out. Game 4 we showed a lot of heart. Game 5 we choked again.
But here's why
we won Game 6. And yesterday, I went into that game going, look, I know we can win, but. It was hard to say, even as a Clipper fan, like, you think they're going to win this game because they traditionally don't.
But I think you're a fan of a team that has been bad for a very long time and a joke for a very long time. But I think we expect the defeat. So by the same token that you think you choked Game 2 and you had an opportunity to win Game 2 and you probably should have won Game 2. And then to get blown out in Game 3 and have to go up again in Game 4 in San Antonio against the defending champs, you said it takes a lot of heart. A team that chokes, I don't think, shows up with a lot of heart and wins Game 4 and 6 on the road when they had to win.
I agree. They showed heart when I did not expect them, because that's the other thing. The Clippers historically haven't shown that kind of heart and closed when they needed to close. And that's what's made this year so wonderful. And that's why this Game 7 is so exciting to me, because they have come back. And in the past, they probably would have laid down and died.
This will be a good measure of Doc Rivers because I think Doc Rivers is a wonderful coach. He's obviously got a title. But there's little doubt Greg Popovich is the only sort of major sport coach talked about in the same sentence as Bill Belichick.
For sure.
These guys are elite. He's an elite coach.
For sure. And this is what I would say about this series is I think the Clippers are a better team. At least they have better starters. Maybe their bench is terrible, but
the Spurs are so deep.
Yeah, they're so deep. But they're probably a more skilled team overall. But the Spurs know how to win when the Clippers don't, and that may be enough to beat them.
It might be. That's another phrase that I don't really believe in because it gets uttered.
I'm hedging my bets.
Right. I mean, what I love about the Spurs is the Spurs know how to win, and they did finally win that next championship. But remember all those years that they knew how to win, and they lost in the second round of the playoffs or the third round of the playoffs, and year after year after year after year, or a couple of years in the finals. I'm not knocking them for that. I'm just saying they're a great team playing other great teams, and sometimes the other team knows how to win. I think Chris Paul and Black Griffin and DeAndre Jordan and J.J. Redick and even UCLA Bruin Matt Barnes, I think they also know how to win.
Well, if you see one thing you notice about the Spurs this year is you can see them getting old in that you see their players grabbing the Clippers a lot at the end of the games. Like, don't get me wrong.
Right, that's interesting. That's a good observation.
You see Blake Griffin getting tired, but that's because he plays 42 minutes a game. But the Spurs, even if they play less minutes, these guys are just bigger and faster, and they're grabbing them. Sometimes it gets called, sometimes it doesn't. What I will say is, up until yesterday, I think the Spurs got the majority of the calls, but we got a huge call at the end of the game yesterday on Jamal Crawford when they did not call him for traveling.
I left Jamal Crawford out, does not know how to win.
I don't know.
I'm just
for me, I would say he's the number 2 player that I'd like with the ball at the end of the game.
Yeah, I know.
Chris Paul, yes. Jamal Crawford, yes. Blake Griffin, no.
You always want guys who can completely create their own shots at the end, and Crawford and Paul obviously can. Okay, real quick. Despite the fact that the home team has won 4 of the last 6 games, or maybe that's the road team has won 4 of the last 6. No, not 4 of the last 6. Has won 4 of 6, not 4 of the last 6. 4 of the 6. Who do you Who do you like in Game 7? What do you
Well,
think?
I have to go Clippers. I mean, how could I not, really, at this point?
Do you feel it, though? You believe it?
I do. Again, if you've been associated with a loser for so long, there's something in your gut that says they're not going to pull it out. But there's also a part of me that says this time they're actually going to do it. And I think if they get past the Spurs, they can make a run. I think one thing that I'm really concerned about is that Big Baby Davis might not play. And the problem with having no bench is when you lose the only guy who can back up your two front court guys, you're down to 6 players.
That's right.
So that's going to be a huge, huge thing if Spencer Hawes has to play, if he just doesn't tank them in the 10 minutes that he plays. What do you think?
I've had a vision, and my vision is Clips 102. It's not just a score. The Clips are up 102-99 with about 3.8 seconds to play. A little more. Call it 6.8 seconds to play. Spurs with the ball after maybe a missed free throw, like Chris Paul hits 1 of 2, and they're only up 3. Doc Rivers does not foul because he thinks we can defend this, and sometimes I like that. And an open 3 from the Spurs is missed. And Clippers rebound it, hit 1 free throw, win it 103-99. There's your final score.
And I'm totally happy with that. I don't care how it gets done as long as it gets done.
Now the question is, I believe that so strongly before we sign off that I have to see who wins 103-99. Are the Clippers more than a 4-point favorite in this game?
I think they're a 2-point favorite.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet they're 2.5 or 3, so that's a...
But they were a 5.5-point dog yesterday, so really, you know.
Right, so that should be home
The odds
team.
makers have been right. If you're betting the series, you're probably losing most.
I bet the Clippers to win the series because they were like plus 155. I thought they had a really good shot at winning it, so I'm on the Clippers anyway. So I will tell you right now, the Clippers, are 2. Obviously, they're winning 103-99. It's a lock.
It's a lock.
Take the Clippers.
103-99. That's the final. Clippers win for a change.
All right, Dan. Thanks very much. Good luck.
Thank
you. You going to the game?
Of course.
All right.